As a Symantec customer, it's important to know that you can utilize all of your products cohesively. Here on Psyops, we will demonstrate the streamlined, automated processes that allow your products to work together. Here, we've retrieved data about an event from Symantec MSS. Symantec MSS relays the event data to Psyops, where fields are directly mapped into an unhandled AV incident using a connector. As seen here, information about the event is listed in both the description and analyst assessment of the incident, along with key events that led to the alert being generated. The data from MSS can be incorporated into a variety of automated use cases. Here, we'll illustrate how you can, for example, cross-check data between Symantec software to detect, find, contain, and isolate malware on a device. Let's run this playbook, investigate unhandled AV event, and see what happens. While the playbook runs, automated updates on the incident display in real time, as seen on the side here. An approval step also pops up. As an analyst, you can decide whether to approve or ignore this decision. For now, we'll approve it. As seen on the side, more playbook updates appear. Now, let's run this playbook on a fresh incident. Going into our execution history, we'll click on our playbook to see what's going on. In our first playbook, Symantec EDR uses the data received from MSS to retrieve even more useful information about the event, namely the file hash and malware type. Instead of running these individual operations separately or manually feeding MSS data into EDR requests every time, the playbook makes it easy to automate these processes with a simple click. Within playbooks, you can also use the data received by both MSS and EDR and automatically place this data into a new record that links to the current alert. In this step, for example, an indicator is created, linking to this potential malware incident. This addition allows specific related records within an incident to be run in different contexts. For example, if you'd like to run a certain playbook on an incident's asset. To demonstrate the multifunction capability of playbooks, we've integrated two different threat intelligence platforms here, VirusTotal and Symantec Deepsight. Regardless of which tools you prefer, we can incorporate your data from many different sources. Whether you prefer to use Symantec tools or other vendor tools, they can easily be integrated into playbooks to work with other data. Additionally, the stage of the record is changed automatically based on the playbook's progress. In this case, after the malware is detected in MSS and confirmed to be malicious by the threat intelligence platforms, the record will enter the containment phase. Heading back to our incident, we can see it's been updated to containment. This allows the analyst to monitor the automated process, if need be. Using relevant information from one specific playbook, data can also be referenced across multiple playbooks. This move from one to the other is called referencing a playbook. Generally, this step is incredibly useful because it allows playbooks with specific purposes to be combined with each other when necessary. In this case, in our decision step, if the malware is confirmed to be an info stealer, we can reference an already created playbook made to deal with info stealers. Here in the info stealer reference step, we can see the different variables and data that can be transferred from one playbook to the other. Let's head over to the info stealer playbook. Now in our info stealer playbook, the Symantec DLP tool is checked for events or alerts on the asset. From the combination of data from MSS, EDR, and now DLP, we are able to determine if personally identifiable information is involved. Until now, the entire process has been automated through the playbooks. However, if PII is found, this ends the playbook and may trigger a handoff to an analyst. They could report the relevant information to their privacy office or compliance team. This step could even be automated with an email sent from a playbook. Further, the analyst could approve a second reference playbook to run that takes the user attached to the incident and changes their password or disables their access for the time being. This can be done if a user is added to the incident record, here. This automation allows analysts to focus on the bigger picture when they arise, instead of unnecessarily spending time on simple use cases. Going back into the playbook, if no PII events are found, we can follow the false step and continue with the automated steps of the playbook. the record is also updated at the same time. We can now bring in Symantec EPM to initiate a malware scan on the asset. The EPM scan has the capability to remove the malware, closing the alert, but if the scan is unsuccessful, Psyops can escalate the alert and continue its security measures through the playbook. The security measures taken in the playbook are completely up to the analyst. In this case, the next measure is to isolate the endpoint. Here, we have an approval step that we saw earlier. This again brings in the analyst when it's time to make important decisions. Automation is halted until the analyst approves the step. They can decide whether the process should continue. If isolation is approved, as we did earlier, Symantec EDR isolates the endpoint successfully and creates a ticket in ServiceNow to allow the IT team to initiate the proper cleanup procedure. Once the ticket has been resolved, the alert in Psyops is then marked as closed. This entire process, from detecting the malware initially to isolating the endpoint, is mostly automated through Psyops' Playbook feature. For customers, invoking these playbooks is an efficient addition to analysts' daily operations. Steps that don't need supervision are completed quickly, with analysts having approval over any step they'd like. Here on Psyops, we've been able to enrich triage and close an inbound alert using our automated playbooks. These features are available to any Psyops customer.